What is up,
What is up,
epic
epic gamers?
What's up?
Back for our first
I'm
first
back for
epic
our
podcast.
podcast. The 5
Um,
Inches Apart podcast, episode 1. I'm Brody, if
I'm
you don't know
Ethan.
me. Right.
We're about 5 inches apart right now, right across the room from each other. A
5
very
inches
small
apart.
table. Breathing into each other's mouths as we talk.
Okay, bro, it's good. All
But
right.
I don't know. Why don't you explain why it's called 5 inches apart? Because that's not the
Is that what
actual
we're doing?
reason. Yeah, sure.
Okay. 5 inches apart. I thought of it.
Bravo.
Creative guy.
It was a really good
'Cause
idea.
I'm 5 inches taller than him. And when we stand erect and we hug, our penises combined 5 inches push us apart.
Yeah, a whole 5 inches. 2.5 on each side, right?
No. All right.
Yeah, his is a little bigger.
Let's get into this.
All right,
Do you have any topics you want to cover, or do you want to just go with mine first?
let's go with yours first.
Okay. Let's get right into Elon Musk.
Okay.
You know lots about Elon Musk.
I
right?
know I know quite a bit
this
about
is-
SpaceX. Nothing else really about Elon Musk. I don't know much about cars, so I don't know much about Tesla.
No. Tesla is like super sweet. Super into their cars.
I know that Tesla and Ford are the only car companies not to go bankrupt. Did you know that?
Ever. I
Yeah,
didn't know
ever.
that.
And they've been very close to it.
Tesla?
Yep.
Well,
So is Ford.
he just uses Tesla to get money
to get money for SpaceX.
for SpaceX. Yeah.
That's the same thing he did with PayPal to get money for Tesla, to get money
Yeah,
for
yeah.
SpaceX.
Right? This dude's insane.
He is
Like,
one
he
of the smartest people.
creates PayPal.
Yeah,
It's a billions of dollars to create Tesla. Creates Tesla, makes the best cars in the world.
and then makes a
And
next
then
generation space company
space, yeah.
that is
SpaceX.
beyond revolutionary.
It's insane.
They just had like their 18th, maybe 18th. It's either 18th or 16th reuse of a Falcon 9 rocket.
Really?
Yep.
I seen one on the news. I saw he launched a Falcon 9 rocket and it didn't land
Yeah,
right.
it missed the net. It landed like
But they're like,
they're reusing it.
yeah, they're
He's
still relaunching
he's just
it.
like, I don't care, I'll just reuse it.
Yeah. Like
Literally
everybody's like,
just
oh my
crash
God,
landed
like,
it into the middle of the ocean, and he's like,
he's
we're
like,
good.
yeah, that's crazy.
He's pretty sick.
Is he smart though? Like,
Yeah,
is he like,
I think he's
or is he just like computerized?
well.
Like
Well, I seen this documentary about him, and it was talking about how like he's like young, like probably like 11 or something, and he created like one of like the earliest video games just by himself. He taught himself programming, and then he just made a video game.
Really?
Yeah, and it was in the newspaper and stuff. And
Like a Pong type thing or what?
it was like more like a Space Invaders. Like you shoot little spaceships with your little alien
Oh, like
guy.
asteroids?
Yeah. Just like that. So I think he's legitimately smart,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
Like, I've seen some of his TED Talks.
I think
And
he's
he-
just very like,
Kind of comes off as crazy.
yeah, he can't, like I think he's got a little bit of like psychopath in him. The way he
Yeah.
talks, he just kind of sits
His
back
eyes,
and
dude.
like
You ever seen like
watches.
you look at his eyes when he like does interviews and shit?
No.
Like, I don't think I see him blink. Like
Like
his
he's an
eyes look very
android or
glazy.
something.
His eyes look like very glazy. And he's just sitting there. Is he from the States? Because he's got like an accent.
He was born, or he's born in New Zealand. I don't know if he was born in, yeah, or no, he's born in South Africa, and then he moved to Canada. He was born
Oh,
and raised
really?
in Canada, or raised in Canada.
So he's like Canadian. I thought he was from the
Yeah.
States.
Nope.
He just lives in the States now.
I would, if I was him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he had to cancel his like tunnel thing under LA.
Oh yeah, his hyperloop.
Yeah, he like canceled one,
Yeah,
but like he's still doing another one.
he does that a lot. He'll like just like with the BFR, it's like another rocket that he is making, and he just keeps like putting it out there, and then he'll not talk about it for like months, and then he'll put it out there again.
Oh, really?
There's like no progress, except lately there has been for the BFR, not the Hyperloop.
Hmm. Yeah, because he like fucking digs a tunnel halfway under LA. Now there's just like a big tunnel under LA. Is that
I don't know.
seems a little sketchy to me.
I feel like he
He
wouldn't have
just
gone through that much.
didn't even start digging yet,
Yeah,
or
probably
what?
not. It's probably something to do with the financials, because there's no way he can balance SpaceX, Tesla, and the
And then some
Hyperloop.
Hyperloop thing. Yeah, he's got so much shit going on.
He
Crazy.
is the busiest man alive, and one of the smartest.
Like
Imagine being
NASA.
that smart. Holy shit.
Yeah, NASA's not even like competing with SpaceX right now.
Well, it's because
Trying
SpaceX
those
like doesn't
rockets.
even really have a budget. NASA's budget is 18 billion.
Yeah, I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson said it was 1/4 of 1% of the U.S. tax
Yeah,
budget goes
it's
to
like one of the
NASA.
smallest budgets
Yeah,
that they give. Like if
which
they
is like
even gave like 1% of the military's budget to NASA, that'd be like
yeah,
military's is like 560 something billion.
really.
Yeah,
Like that's stupid. Why
that's
don't
insane.
you're not funding like advancements towards
Yeah,
society? You're just
it's
like funding like fuck it, we will kill people, but we'll fund that, but no, we're not gonna try
yeah,
and
I don't really
advance our
get it.
knowledge.
And I feel like NASA does a lot more than just like blasting people into space,
Yeah, no, they
like
do a lot of
climate
shit.
stuff and just
Like,
atmospheric studies and stuff like that. Like I feel like there's
yeah,
a lot more that they could be doing.
yeah,
States are stupid.
states are stupid. Fucking the states.
The old states used to be smart, like World War II states. Didn't
I
get
fucking
involved in World War II.
yeah, I know. I hate that the states. I seen a lot of things that were like, "Yo, back to back World War champions." It's like the states weren't involved. Like they barely did anything.
They hopped
Why
in
you
at the
say
last
back to back?
second. They're like
Yeah, like
they were bench warmers until everybody else was tired, and then they went
yeah,
in and
like
got the
what was
goal.
it? Like the last year, like last couple of like the last year of the war. They like hop in and like do
Just
like
murder
one thing
everybody.
and
Get D-Day.
storm one thing. Yeah,
Because I was like at the end of the war too.
it's like stop claiming you won the war. You're just like
I mean, they did kind of
Britain.
win the war. They
Britain
did push
fought
it.
the entire war. Fuck that. Like Russia won the fucking World War II. Russia did everything.
Russia was a pretty good powerhouse.
Fucking Britain stood there and got their ass kicked the whole time.
Yeah.
Just got their asses handed to them.
Even like World
But I
War
mean,
One,
like,
it was just like France, Canada, Britain. They just all like just fought together. Or no, it was Britain, Canada, and somewhere else against France, right?
I have no idea. I have no idea about World War One. The only reason I know a little bit about World War Two is because I started watching like the Netflix documentary World War Two in color.
I started watching. I've been watching lots of World War II movies. Not those kinds of movies. I could watch Fury.
Like
Actually, that might be World War One.
just like
No, that's
actual
World
like
War Two.
movies, not
Like
like
Inglorious
documentaries.
Bastards. Have you watched that?
Yeah. No, but I've heard about it.
It's like my favorite movie. It's sick.
Mm. All right.
Are we gonna hop on a segue? Go to a different conversation.
Sure. You want to move over? Okay. Well, since we were talking about like NASA and shit, let's talk about space.
Okay.
Okay. You like? So I was in this
I
astronomy.
love space.
I love like the idea of space is so fucking intriguing.
I would go to space right now, 100%. Maybe in like
I
5
don't.
years, my opinion might change, but right now, I think I would just dip
I
out and
don't
go to
think I would.
space.
I don't think I would go to space right now.
Why not? What's holding you back?
What's holding me back? Just like, I don't know,
Just
relationships
life.
with people. Just life, bro. I got this mortgage I have to pay off.
Just life, man. But there
Just
is
life.
no mortgage in space. You could just dip. You could just leave.
Yeah, but then they've got all of my money. You can't just
Guess.
live in space.
They just send you
You
to
gotta
Mars
come
though?
back. If they just sent you, like you're talking about, like the Elon Musk
Sure.
is going to colonate Mars thing,
Yeah, sure. I'd
like you
I'd
would
do it.
dip out.
I think I would. Like a legitimate answer, I think I would. If I was
Yeah.
like if they were like, "Yeah, you're good to go." I think I'd be like, "All right.
Well, I
Sweet."
mean, in astronomy, we're talking about repopulating other planets, and for an interstellar, my prof said, for an interstellar spaceship to like be able to like forever, if you send people on an interstellar spaceship, you need 40,000 people on one spaceship to successfully be able to have a society,
Did you say why?
just like for breeding purposes and like
Would you have
just
to
having
send
all
them
the
all there
social
at once
aspects.
though?
Well, you need like minimum 40,000 people
I
to
think
like
40,000
have.
people would want to go. Out of the population on Earth, I think 40,000 people. Like
Yeah,
that's such a
but
small
like
amount of people.
how long do you take does it take to travel to Mars? Like a couple of 100 years, wouldn't it?
No, not anymore. Like the Roadster already passed Mars orbit. The Tesla Roadster that he sent up like 6 months ago,
Like, yeah.
it's past the Mars orbit. Went right by. So what's that?
Where does he
4 months? Because that was like
where's he
2 months
launching
ago.
that to?
It pretty much just floats now. Because everybody was like, "Oh, he's sending a car to Mars," but it wasn't going to Mars. It was all he said was it's going through the Mars orbit. So out of all the planets, that was the only orbit it was actually going to go through.
Yeah.
So it just pretty much went through the Mars orbit, and now it just continues to go, in like forever.
This space trash now?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just gonna be like it's gonna pass through our fucking get out of our galaxy and some other.
What if it just came back to us, like completely turned around? There's no more guy in it. It was just the Roadster, completely trashed. Came
What?
right back to us. Some aliens just send it back, just completely
Yeah.
destroyed.
Well, did you know that like the U.S. is actively looking for extraterrestrial life?
Of course they are,
Like they're legitimately actively looking.
dude. Like
Like
Area 51.
no, like legitimately they sent out radio transmissions with a message. They
Oh,
just
like
shot it out into space,
yeah,
and
like
then
the Golden
in
Record.
60,000 years
Yeah.
is when they, if they're going to get a response, when they expect a response. And like there's satellites set up that like look for radio emissions sent to Earth from extraterrestrial life.
Yeah, because they sent that whole like package of stuff. There's like a whole book of
Oh yeah, yeah, that was a different
pictures.
thing though.
Oh,
That was
was
like
it?
a spaceship.
Yeah.
They sent like an actual thing, like a
And it
capsule
just,
or something.
hmm,
They sent a few of them.
dude, that's cool.
Sent like 5 of them.
But why not look for it, you know?
Well, like Stephen Hawking said that we shouldn't be looking for them because we're gonna get fucking killed.
Because it's going to be a bad time once we do.
Yeah, like we're gonna
Probably.
find them and they're going to murder us all.
Going to eat us alive. I think it'll just be like bacteria that we find. I think the first thing we find is just going to be a little like
You
little
don't think
sperm
there'll be
cell.
advanced? Well, we're gonna find some planets that are like that probably,
Maybe. Like you think
but
before
you don't
human
think?
extinction we're going to find
Oh, I don't know. Before human extinction.
like I definitely think there's
Oh yeah,
probably
definitely.
smarter creatures, I guess, or smarter life forms out
Yeah,
there.
I
But I don't
agree.
know if we'll
I
find them.
definitely think.
I think we would have
I
seen them by
definitely
now.
think. Well, we also talked about in that class that like we were talking about interstellar travel and like we're gonna fucking pooch the world pretty soon.
Yeah,
So
it's like
we need
gotta
to
get
figure
out
out a
of
way
here.
to ditch it.
Hmm.
And so we were talking about interstellar travel in my class, and then my prof was like, "Well, realistically, if interstellar travel was possible, we probably wouldn't be the first people to do it.
Yeah.
So there'd be other civilizations doing it." And he said to do it, if we could do it to successfully inhabit a whole galaxy, like your whole
Dude,
like
that'd
Milky
be
Way
insane.
galaxy, would take 18,000 years only.
It's not that long,
That's not long at all.
but we'd also
That
have
seemed
to
like
like,
a super short time.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
pretty sure that's what he said.
um, back to Elon Musk. You
Yeah,
know that BFR spaceship that I was telling you about?
yeah.
It's like it like stands for Big Falcon Rocket.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
so he's he like last month switched the name to Starship. Like he called it Starship, and then a bunch of people were like, "Oh, it has to be able to like travel like outside of the solar system to be called a starship." And he literally just tweeted back, and he was like, "The newer versions will do that. It's fine." Like just
Really?
straight up really cocky, just like, "Oh yeah, we'll get there. Next version."
Well, I feel like if anyone's gonna save the planet,
It's
like
Elon
we pooped
Musk.
the planet. If anyone's gonna save it, it's gonna be Elon Musk.
Dude, I know. I don't get why people aren't so into him.
Yeah,
There's people who don't even know who he is.
really?
Ah, yeah. Like I've had conversations with people where they don't know who
Hmm.
he is. My mom loves Elon Musk now
Really?
because I talk about him
Huge
all the
show.
time.
I don't think my parents probably don't know who he is. Only they probably only heard of him because he was on that news for fucking. He was like getting in a fight with some guy that was trying to rescue those kids who got trapped in
Oh
that.
yeah, and he called him a
Really?
pedophile when he got
Yeah,
sued. That
yeah,
was a bad month for Elon Musk.
yeah,
Smokes a blunt the next month.
yeah. And what his stock dropped like a ton.
Yeah, like a
He
lot.
smoked weed with Joe Rogan on his podcast.
What a PR stunt.
That's so
There's no way
stupid.
he didn't know that that was gonna happen.
I don't
I
know.
think he knew that was gonna happen and just did it just cause.
Like drinking. If he took a drink, nobody would have cared.
But yeah, then he smokes a blunt. And
My son,
it wasn't even like straight marijuana, was it? It was like
no, it was
tobacco,
like
and
yeah, it's like half tobacco,
people
half
freak
marijuana.
out.
And everybody was just like, "Oh my god, why does it matter?"
Yeah, I don't know. You can't even buy SpaceX stocks. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I've never tried
They're
to.
private, privately purchased
Hmm.
stocks. You can purchase Tesla stocks, so
Can you?
yeah,
They're probably expensive though.
probably like fifty
Like
dollars a stock or something.
they're only gonna appreciate in value.
Yeah.
I think. Like everybody wants a Tesla.
Hmm.
I want a
And
Tesla.
Tesla pretty much
Don't
just
you want?
started. Dude, Tesla
Yeah.
makes like some of the cheapest cars too. It's like thirty thousand
Yeah.
dollars for a roadster, I think.
No, it's not. It's like $300,000 for a roadster.
Really? I thought
Yeah.
like
Like I was looking it up.
the highest price was like 60,000 for Teslas.
I looked it up the other day, and it was like $300,000.
Jesus. Okay, I don't
Look it
know
up right now.
anything about Tesla then.
Like they were expensive, and it's pronounced Tesla,
What am I
not
saying?
Tesla.
No,
You're saying Tesla, Tesla.
Tesla. It's $376 for a stock, which it's pretty much only gone up.
Okay, so prices for the Roadster will start at $200,000 with a
Jesus.
required deposit of $50,000. A limited edition founder series of the car will cost $250,000 and will have to be paid upfront and in full. Just people, just fucking gangsters walking in, 250 grand in cash, just handing it.
All these like Stephen Hawking professors just spending their money on their Tesla cars.
I would buy a Tesla right away. I would buy a Tesla. They're like
I think I'd
the
have to live somewhere else other than here. There's no
Why
Tesla
not?
things. There's no
Oh yeah,
charging stations.
charging
You'd have to
stations. You
get
can go
your
up
own.
to your house. Like when you buy the car, it comes with one for
Yeah,
your house.
with
I'm
like
pretty
a
sure.
garage one that you set up.
Yeah.
How long does a battery last for a Tesla? Or
Uh,
what is it
you
again?
can buy Tesla.
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 I say
You
Tesla.
can you can buy like the different like it comes with different batteries for like increased price, but I think the best battery you can buy was like 800,000 kilometers. Or
Damn.
not 800,000
800
kilometers,
kilometers.
800 kilometers.
Literally travel to Mars in your roadster.
800. I'm pretty sure like 800 kilometers, which is still pretty good
That's way
because you
better
get
than
like,
mine. I get like
yeah, you
500
get,
kilometers.
yeah, like a tank of gas. I'm pretty sure my car is like 350 kilometers on a tank of gas.
Would you just not have to pay for it?
I saw this thing that you have to pay for supercharging thing, like to use the supercharging stations that like Tesla like set up
Oh, like the
places.
ones in
There's like
cities
a
and
monthly
stuff?
there's like a monthly fee, but it's only like $50.
But the ones in your house, you don't have to? Or you don't know?
I don't think so. I don't think you have to pay a fee to use it. It just like cost a
Dude,
little bit more on your power bill.
that's such a financial.
You save so much money in gas.
Yeah.
Like $50 a month to charge your car like as much as you want.
Instead of like probably 120 a month,
Yeah.
maybe more.
Like I have a small car and it's like $40 to fill up my tank and I have a really small car.
Yeah, mine's like $60 to fill up a tank.
And if I was to drive it like every time I come back to Lloyd, I have to fill up twice. So that's like
Really?
$80.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. That's a lot. I guess I
Yeah.
you mean like here and back? That's twice?
Like I
Or
fill up
there
before I
and it's
leave.
twice?
Like I fill up before I leave and then I fill up in North Battleford. And then I come back and I fill up in North Battleford because North Battleford's like 96 cents. So I fill up like, I guess it'd be like 1.5 tanks of gas
Yeah.
I burn. But still, it's not cheap.
No. Damn.
Yeah. So I think like buying a Tesla, just the money you'd save in gas is worth it.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy Tesla
I'm definitely
right
like,
now.
it doesn't even have to be a Tesla.
Just
You buy
just like
any
a
type
hybrid.
of car, any type of electric
Dude,
car.
like just what's the Honda Civic?
Prius.
Just get a little Honda Civic.
Oh yeah.
Those are cheap.
Those were only, yeah, those were only 30,000.
And under 5 kilometers,
28,000.
they're silent. They're silent. Like in The Office when Andy runs over Dwight because he sneaks up on him behind him because he goes under 5 kilometers an hour and he shoves him into the bush. Imagine how many enemies you could take out with your silent Honda Civic. You just slowly rear off into the sidewalk. And nobody sees you or hears you.
That's like walking speed, 5 kilometers an hour.
They just feel like a slight nudge and get out of the way. Think it's a person.
There's a fucking bright red.
Just crushing people.
Like the most non-threatening form of attacking somebody. Just start light jogging away.
Only go after like handicapped people.
Unexpected people.
People are sitting on benches and stuff. Run over their feet.
Drive your car.
All right, another segue.
Another segue. Do you got anything?
25 minutes. Let's talk about the desert. You want to go to the desert?
Do I want to go?
Yeah.
I like the place I want to visit the most in the world, like go on vacation, is Egypt.
Really? Mine's actually, I think, Greenland or Iceland.
Really? Like,
yeah.
You can find whale skeletons.
Oh yeah, in the Sahara.
Sitting on top of the sand.
Yeah, because
it used to be an ocean, like not that long ago.
Is that what Pangea is? Do you know what Pangea is?
Yeah, that's
sound like an
Pangea.
Idiot. That's when
Pangea is like the theory of when it was
It's
just one
split
big
apart.
clump of
Yeah.
yeah. This bitch don't know about Pangea.
That's a good segue into unappreciated comedy.
Comedy songs,
Yeah, Lil Dicky.
the Little Dicky
We'll get
song.
back to deserts after. Yeah, let's talk about Lil
Okay,
Dicky and Bo
okay.
Burnham.
Bo Burnham is. You showed me Bo Burnham,
Yeah, I love Bo Burnham.
and like
I know
I
like every
started.
single one of his songs.
He's like he was pretty popular.
Yeah, when he was like
Like all of the
17
songs, yeah, like all of the songs I found on YouTube were
or
posted
old.
like 4 years ago.
Yeah,
I feel like they're hilarious.
they are funny. He's a funny guy. And then he
It's
just had the
such
movie that he directed, and
yeah.
it
I
won
saw that he
like
directed a
won
movie.
a shit ton of awards.
What movie was it? Do you know?
Um, I don't know. I could look it up. I don't know how. I
Just say
don't
no
know.
idea. Just say no idea.
No
Yeah,
idea.
like comedy songs are probably the most underappreciated art
Yeah,
of
probably.
comedy.
They should.
It takes so much talent. Like you
You're
need to be
combining
musically talented.
two artistic talents into
Yeah,
one
I know.
to make
That's
something
like
perfect.
insanely talented you have to be. Like Little Dicky, like Dave Bird by himself is a really good rapper. Like
Hmm.
he's probably one of my favorite rappers. But then he's like hilarious. He makes ridiculously funny comedy music,
Hmm.
and like
Who else is
nobody
there?
appreciates it.
There's not that many.
Lots of people used to do it.
Yeah. Adam
Like
Sandler.
yeah, Adams. Yeah, these guys just shit
What a
on me for
goof.
wanting to listen to that.
I hate Adam Sandler, dude.
Why?
I
He
just never
soiled
liked
his
any of
name.
his. Yeah, I guess I
Like
like his
he
older
signed it.
movies, but like Grown Ups and stuff, I hated.
You hated Grown Ups? I
Yeah, I
thought
didn't
Grown Ups
like
was
that movie at all.
really good.
Like
I
really
like
good.
Grown Ups, but he signed that contract with Netflix to like just pump out shit movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he signed a contract with Netflix to make Netflix originals, to just pump
When
out
was
Netflix
that?
originals. Like a year ago, he like signed off a contract to like make 13 Netflix
Jesus.
original movies.
Well,
Like after he tanked with Jack and Jill,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's like
that's what
when
I
he
was gonna
signed.
bring up. So,
Yeah, like Jack and Jill is like one of the most hated movies ever or whatever.
yeah, that was bad.
I thought have you seen Daddy's Home or like
Oh yeah,
Daddy's Boy or whatever with
yeah.
like that small Cole Spronis or whatever his
Cole
name is?
Sprouse, Dylan Sprouse, they both played the kid.
Did they?
Yeah, because they're
Yeah,
twins.
like that was a good movie.
That
Like
was a
he's
good
got
movie.
and
That's
like
one of my favorite.
Happy Gilmore and
Yeah,
Billy
and
Madison.
48 First Dates, is that what it's called? He's in that, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Or his like wife has amnesia or
Yeah,
whatever.
and he keeps, yeah.
Yeah, like
He was, same with David Spade. David Spade used to be super funny,
he's got
but
some good movies. But then he's just soiling his
he
name
should
and
have
just
just stopped.
producing
He should
garbage.
have
He should
stopped.
have just stopped.
Just like how, once again, how The Office just stopped, and how they just
Yeah,
live on forever. So many things should have just done that.
yeah.
God,
Like I want an Office remake. Like
but I
The
know
Office
it's
is
gonna
such a good
ruin.
show.
It's not gonna be
It's
good.
going to. It's not going to be good.
It's there's
Like
like
the
I
expectations would be so high
way
for it.
too high. Man, but
Such a
do I
good
want
show.
one? I want to watch Parks and
Like
Rec. I've heard that's really good.
now, Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
I've never seen. I don't think I've seen it.
What were you gonna say?
Now the big thing is like taking shows that have canceled and making an animated version out of it.
Yeah, holy like
Like the Corner Gas animated.
or like Napoleon Dynamite when it was.
Yeah, Napoleon Dynamite.
They're not
They just
good.
like they
Why do
just
people do
garbage the
that?
whole name. Yeah, it's like Napoleon Dynamite was a really good
That was
movie.
like one of the best movies at the time.
Yeah, like
That's
it was
also
one of my
another.
favorites.
I think one of the main reasons Adam Sandler isn't funny anymore is because of the shift of humor in comedy.
Yeah,
Like same reason why Jim Carrey isn't that famous anymore. But Jim Carrey actually stopped, which was smart
yeah. I don't know any Jim Carrey movies that have been.
because he started making like more serious roles. Like he had The Truman Show, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. God, that movie's good.
All I really know Jim Carrey from is Yes Man. the Yes Man
Yeah,
or whatever.
and then Liar Liar, The
Oh
Grinch.
yeah, Liar
Um,
Liar. I
what
guess
else?
he's in a couple. But they're
He's in
like
some.
old,
Yeah,
oldish.
they're
The
older.
fucking Pet Detective, Ace Ventura,
Yeah,
Pet
Ace
Detective.
Ventura. But that was also like the same time Adam Sandler was around, and so just this goofy, like, not quite
Yeah,
slapstick comedy and not quite like the comedy that is now. Like comedy now is really raunchy and like kind of
yeah.
edgy and stuff, and so people don't like seeing the slapstick stuff, and so they were right
Yes.
in between. I love Jim Carrey. Have you seen The Truman Show?
No, I don't think so.
This is a good segue into Life is a Simulation. It's like about this guy who his entire life he's grown up as the main character of a TV show. And so he thinks his entire world is real, but everybody in it is an actor. And he's like they put all these like traumatic events in his life so that he won't leave this town. And then like at some point he's like I gotta go. And then he tries to leave and he starts like finding out that it's just a TV show.
Really?
Everybody's just watching his life for pure enjoyment.
So it's kind of like that. What's that movie with that dog that thinks it's actually like a superhero or whatever? You know that movie? It's like an animated
No,
kids movie called Bolt or something like that.
I haven't seen that.
It's like a dog, like an animated movie about a dog that thinks it's a superhero because it plays a superhero in a movie, and then it gets lost and is discovering that it's not actually a superhero. It was just an
Damn,
act the
that's
whole
deep
time.
for a kids movie.
Yeah,
The
it
dog's
is.
having like a midlife crisis, like doesn't know what's happening with his life.
It's
Everything
like
he's
he like
grown up with
tries to.
is a lie.
Yeah, it's like it's a pretty good kids movie.
What's it
But back to
called?
that life. It's
Oh
called
yeah,
Bolt, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. Let's get back to that.
Back to life as a
Life is a
virtually,
simulation.
yeah. Like Elon Musk said that. Elon Musk.
Yeah, he said.
I don't know if he was the first person to say
No,
it,
I don't think he was. There
but he
had to be more
definitely
people, but
he
cause
definitely said it.
he gave like three reasons. He said either we're living in simulation, or
We're going to create a
we're going
simulation.
to create a simulation, or we're going to die
Yeah.
like real quick.
After that astronomy class, like there's lots of stuff that we're still researching. So I kind of think that we might be living we
Yeah, we're like at.
could create
I think
a
either
simulation.
we're like pretty much done right now, and we're just gonna die soon because we've reached like peak human knowledge, I guess. Like as far as we can understand, we are there, or we're just gonna. I don't know.
I think it's a possibility that we create a simulation
I think
because
so.
we know up to 400,000 years, or we visibly seen up to 400,000 years right after the Big Bang. Like we could visibly see that with a telescope,
Yeah,
but like we don't know like what happened directly at the Big Bang. So I think that at some time somebody's going to try and recreate the Big Bang in like this giant vacuum
they're gonna just
and then
make another
try
universe.
try and recreate it to see what happened to us. And then when I thought that, I thought, well, why, what's saying that isn't what we are right
Yeah.
now?
Have
What's
you?
saying that some scientists that didn't already try to recreate the Big Bang to try and figure out what their universe was, so we are just that universe?
Yeah, we're like the first one. That'd be.
Some deep shit.
Have you watched all of Rick and Morty?
No, I don't think so.
There's an episode where Rick he loses his car battery or his car battery dies or
Oh
something.
yeah, yeah, I saw
Yeah,
that one.
and the entire
He
like
just created a universe to power
yeah,
his car.
he just made a planet just to power his car, and then
Yeah.
inside that,
They also made
yeah,
a universe
they
to
made
power
a
their
battery
universe.
to power their universe, which is
Yeah,
just yeah,
I
dude,
saw that.
that is some deep stuff.
Yeah.
I
Some
don't know. Maybe we'll
cartoons
just
have
never
like,
know. You know,
yeah,
maybe we'll just
some cartoons like
explode.
they've got like some creative writers or whatever.
Dude, my favorite cartoon, Adventure Time. It gets deep.
Does it? I
Yeah.
thought it was like a weird like
Well, Well, like the first couple
animated
seasons
things.
were kind of just like goofy, kind of like SpongeBob type of humor,
Yeah,
just goofy stuff. And then like the later season, the story just gets like super in depth. And like I think the writers were just like, we want to end the show, so let's just go hard on the story. And it's like, I don't know, that's one of my favorite shows of all time.
I've never really watched it, but it's like it's Asian. Its Asian following kind of struck me as like, oh, it's got to be one of those weird
Yeah, it does have a
anime type
yeah.
of things. It's like oddly sexual. I don't like anime at all.
I don't really like anime.
Well, part of me is like I saw one anime show. My buddy from Saskatoon was watching it, and I was just over there at his house, and it was like it was called Attack of the Titans or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Have you heard of it or seen it?
yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard it's like one of the
And
really good ones.
it looked sweet.
Yeah,
Like I was like, okay, if this is what anime is, I could get into it. But then the whole Dragon Ball Z stuff that I
yeah.
see just like
I can't
turns
get
me
into
off
it.
of it.
You should. I watched Akira. It's like a 3 hour long anime. Like it's a movie. It was made in like 1988, and I'm pretty sure it's almost mostly hand drawn. That is like a bomb ass movie, and it's like a.
Is it?
It's not like catered to kids. It's like a R-rated movie
Hmm.
because it's got quite a bit of violence and sexuality and stuff. And it's like this.
I don't.
It's about like
Hmm.
this like post-apocalyptic like city, kind of Tokyo, that's been like destroyed by just government and everything, and it's like this biker gang that goes through all this stuff. It's really cool.
No. I don't really like when cartoons have sexuality in them.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
weird.
can't. It is very weird. Like even regular movies.
You saying you
Like
don't like hentai, huh?
when you get like a regular movie and then they just throw in some sex scene that doesn't really have to be there. Doesn't really provide any
Yeah,
point to the movie. Just kind of like why? Like I'm watching this with my mom, or
you
my
had to
mom
do
is
this
going
to
to
me.
walk in where it happens.
Really, Adam
Like,
Sandler? Gonna throw this thing in right now?
why is it there? Yeah,
I don't know. I wonder if there has to be like some movie that actually has like a plot turning sex scene in it.
during during sex. Well, what I was these lake. I don't know if I can throw a name out there. I
I
was
can
at
just bleep it out or whatever.
my significant other's lake one time, and her mom is not is very opposed to like raunchy comedies,
Hmm.
like anything like that, like any form of sexuality. She's super opposed to it. And then she threw on this movie. She was like she saw the title. She was like, oh, this movie, throws it on. She like 4 minutes into it. It's like about like cops or something. 4 minutes into it, these cops raid a drug house. There's like obese, like two super obese people just having sex right into it. And then like the cop gets stuck underneath it, and the guy's like ball sweat is like dripping into the cop's face. And there's just like naked obese
Holy
people running
shit.
around, and like like
That is as
three
worst as
adults,
you can get.
just like the raunchiest stuff. And then she was just like, oh my god, I didn't. This isn't the movie. She didn't even change it. She just like, oh my gosh. I
Oh
was
my
like,
god.
nobody's gonna change it. It was kind of a good movie. I don't remember what it was called, but it was hilarious. I was just laughing, and then uh, my girlfriend was just like scared that she was just gonna get flipped out on by her parents. It was hilarious.
I'm gonna bring it full circle back to Adam Sandler. Do you do you do you remember that cowboy movie that he made? It's actually kind of decent. It's
Ridiculous Six.
yeah, The Ridiculous Six.
Yeah.
So there was also a movie. Do you know who Quentin Tarantino is? The director.
No.
He makes like really like bloody. Like he made like Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction. I don't know if you know them, but they're really
I don't.
bloody like hardcore movies, and
Yeah.
they're just known for being like R rated and like over the top.
Yeah.
And So so the same time the Ridiculous Six came out, there's a movie called The Hateful Eight that came out,
Oh yeah, I
and
saw the Hateful.
yeah, that's one of my favorite movies too. And the first time I seen it was in theaters with my dad, and I was like 12 at the time, and I was like, "Oh, the Adam Sandler movie Hateful Eight is." And as soon as we get in, like the first like couple lines are just they're just throwing out the N word and beating a woman in this
Yeah,
carriage. Like there's just nonstop just
this violence the whole time.
yeah.
It's about murdering people.
Dude, that is like a because it's like a tragedy, like everybody dies.
Yeah,
That's what I love about it. It's like
the
it's like
the
a
plot or like the setting to that,
dude, it's
it's
so
pretty
good.
creative
It's so
to
good
have a storyline like that where the
where
setting is
everything
just one room.
yeah, that has to be
That's like
so
that's
difficult.
hard.
That's like
That would be super difficult.
it must be like a play or something like Hamlet, where there's
Yeah,
just one setting and it's like a tragedy and everybody dies and there's oh, it's so good how everybody is tied together and it's like a mystery.
yeah,
That
it is
movie's
good.
so good. All of like, have you watched Django Unchained?
I did. I love
Yeah,
Django
that's
Unchained.
made by Quentin Tarantino too. That
Is
movie's
it?
awesome. Same as
That
Inglorious
movie's so
Bastards.
sweet.
Like he makes some of my favorite movies. Inglorious Bastards is my top movie of all time.
Mm. I
Like
think the Django Unchained is like super duper sweet. The
yeah,
first time I watched, or no, I watched the Django Unchained by myself one time, and then my dad saw me watching it, and so like he thought it'd be cool, so he watched it later. And it was like around Christmas time sometime, and my 4-year-old cousin
oh yeah, you told me
came.
about that.
Yeah, my 4-year-old cousin came. So I was like, oh, like it's some pretty graphic.
It
Like
is.
it was like on the part where they chased the slave up the tree because he didn't want to
Oh,
fight to the death, and then like they made the dogs
they
kill
literally
him.
it's just like the dog's tearing him apart.
Yeah, it's just the dogs actually eating
Yeah.
him alive. And I was like, Dad, I like paused it and I like turned off the TV and like, what the heck? What are you doing? I was like, there's a 4-year-old like sitting, he's watching this. And my dad was, and then my aunt was like, it's okay. I was like, are you serious? He watches The Walking Dead with us. I mean, this is a little bit more intense.
It's a lot.
You're gonna scar this kid. Oh my
They're just
god.
yelling out the N word every
Yo,
which direction.
like the one guy kills
Yo,
the one slave kills the other slave with a hammer. Like
it's
they fight to
horrible. And he
death
breaks
in
his
front
hand,
of the
or
fireplace.
breaks his arm. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like super. Like I cringed so hard when I saw that.
Like you haven't seen Inglorious Bastards, but literally like there's probably like 12 times in the movie where they just scalp people. They literally just like there's just them cutting the scalps off of Germans
Holy,
because it's like about these Jewish Americans, like this group of Jewish Americans who go to Nazi Germany during World War II, and they're just like known for just destroying Nazis. And so like each one of them has like a certain count of scalps that they have.
holy,
They're just like
and that's just like on the movie.
yeah, like
They show that.
tons of times. It's just
That's super intense.
yeah, it's it's pretty. And then they also carve the swastika into anyone that they let live. They just carve the swastika into their forehead, and it literally just shows it all. And it's so there's not even that much
Really.
blood. It's just them like it's so slow, and they're just screaming
Holy,
and stuff. Still my favorite movie. Love that movie.
holy. That's intense. Like some of the stuff you see on Reddit, like Reddit's unfiltered, isn't it?
Yep. Well, there's like not
Like
safe for
some of
work,
this,
which is so that you like don't open it at work. But yeah, you can just post whatever you want.
some of the stuff that you've shown me,
Dude, like the
like
freaking r slash watch people
super.
die.
Yeah.
That's like
Why would you do that?
you bring it back
Why
to
would you
Reddit,
watch? Why would you watch
this
people die?
the subreddit about the fat shaming squirrels.
Where did you find that?
I I was scrolling through like somebody asked on r/ask Reddit, like, what's the best thing you found on the internet in the past month? And then this guy was like r/ like, I don't know what the subreddit's called, but it's just a subreddit where they just bash on squirrels. They just like take pictures from afar, and it's like, this fat fucking idiot just ate my French fries. Like, look at this guy, this lucky bastard, eating all my food. And
From
they're
what
always so
the
fat.
picture, they didn't look like they were fat squirrels.
Really? They
I
look like
thought,
pretty fat squirrel. I've got a bunch.
do you just
I
screenshotted a bunch of
screenshotted like probably 6 of
fat
them.
squirrels?
This one's the stupid fat fuck stealing dumpster croissants at work today. Look at this smug bastard. Acts like he owns the place. This fat fuck eyeing me through the kitchen window. We call him Lard Nut, the fattest squirrel in the yard. Lard Nut. Oh, dude, that's a bomb ass subreddit.
I've never got into Reddit just because I was scared
Dude,
of
there's some
like
crazy shit.
seeing dead people.
I mean, you kind of gotta find it. You gotta like subscribe or like follow the right subreddits, which I don't. I usually just look them up so that it's not under my profile. But
Yeah.
there's some you can
Can't
just
you like hire
I don't know if
or
you can
what?
through I don't know if you can through Reddit. Probably not. Cause like the subreddits have mods and there are rules that you have to follow. Like you can't post certain things, but like there's some extreme cases of subreddits that still gotta follow the
What?
rules, but you can still post some pretty crazy stuff. Like even the r/watch people die have rules.
Like what's the rule?
It's probably like they have to be
No
like
nudity, guys.
make sure they're dead. That's probably actually a rule.
What?
Like make sure these are actually videos of people dying, and you have like you know.
What if one was just like some dude at his grandma's funeral? Not like actually watching someone die. Some guy that's sad.
Just a
Just
picture
like
of like his grandma's funeral card.
just like in a casket.
Rest
Not
in
like
peace,
the
Gam
actual
Gam.
like, some dudes, just some intense people like
Just gets banned from the subreddit.
psychopaths.
Fuck you!
Just-
Get the hell out of here!
Do they get sick in that?
Hell
Can you
yeah!
get sick
I
in
feel like
the
you'd
space
have to.
station? Like if one person got sick, that'd be like a super
Yeah,
major
they
health
would
risk
like
for everybody
all
else.
die. They would have to go down.
Like quarantine the one person when they get a common cold.
Yeah,
Because there's like limited space up in that place.
that's like that that uncontacted tribe that did you hear about that guy tried
Yeah,
to
he went to like try and
yeah they
tell them
just
about
killed him
Christianity. He just killed him.
and
And then
who the
they
fuck
can't get
does
his
that?
body back because
They just took it,
yeah,
yeah. Well, because if
they
you
can't
go
get
to one
his
of those islands and
they
you
kill
have
you.
like yeah, and if they don't kill you, then you pretty much infect them with every
Yeah. Then
single
you kill them?
thing that they don't have, yeah, and you wipe out the entire tribe.
I think it's insane. Like, do you think there's more just tribes that we
Dude,
haven't
there's quite a
found?
few that like we know of that we haven't that we haven't contacted. If you just look up like uncontacted tribes in YouTube, there's like tons
That's
of
insane.
documentaries.
I saw one documentary where like a guy went to a tribe that wasn't like in modern society
Yeah,
and like the life expectancy there was like 24 just
yeah,
because they all committed suicide.
really?
Not
Holy
because they
shit.
died of nothing. They would all commit suicide before they turned 28. They would all just
Jesus.
commit suicide.
Maybe it's like
Yeah.
some sort of religion.
I don't know
Like
if
they
it's a
have to do it.
religion. It's just like people are dying there so often that they're just depressed. Like I saw it followed the story of this one guy, and he was the only person left in his family because everybody else in his family
Just
committed
killed
suicide.
themselves.
And before the documentary was over, he committed suicide.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's intense. And then they like, if a baby gets born with a disability,
They
they
just
like
kill it.
take the baby. They take the baby and they throw it out into the wild. Like they don't
Jesus.
kill it.
They let
They
it
let it
fend
live,
for itself
and they just throw it out into the wild
to see if it'll
and let
come
it get
back.
eaten.
And if it comes back, that it's strong
It's
enough.
Yeah, yeah. No,
You've
like
gotten past our trials. You have succeeded.
it's like Ender's Game.
Even with your extra arm, you are so strong.
No, it's like Down syndrome.
Yeah. Dude, I watched one where they like all they did was just fly over like a tribe and they got
And they
shot
yeah,
at by
by bow
arrows.
and arrow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that too.
dude, that would.
Like in a helicopter, they flew over it,
I have to say that would be such a sick job though. Like get to like
just filming.
research and stuff
Yeah,
about.
that would be sweet.
That'd be sick. Same with like
I
monkeys.
think
Dude, getting to follow around a tribe of monkeys, just like filming their every move and stuff, getting to know them.
monkeys are scary. Some monkeys like are cannibals.
Yeah, they're like one of
They
the
kill
only
and eat other monkeys.
other types of animals that will murder their own species for fun.
Will they? They do
Yeah,
that?
like alpha, like just to show
Monkeys?
dominance, like to if another group of I don't know if it might be chimps or like apes or
Well,
something. I don't know what type of monkey it is. Probably chimps. Like if there's another group of males, then the group of males will just like kill the other one just to show
well, that happens
dominance,
in
like just beat the shit out of them.
lots of stuff though.
Yeah, but
Like all animals fight for
lots of times they
dominance.
don't even eat them. Like they have like a certain procedure that they go through to kill them, and it's like rip out their eyes and then rip out their testicles and then like start ripping
Oh
off
my
their
god!
arms and stuff. And
Like
they
what
and they
is it
go in a
like?
single file line and they just beat the
Like
shit out of them.
apes are like, or what's it? Chimpanzees are like twice, 2 times stronger. Or what's it? Not
It's like
chimpanzee.
4 times stronger. I thought
What is
chimps are
it?
4 times strong. Yeah, it's chimpanzees
Is it the ones though?
that are like 4 times stronger than humans.
They're like 4 times stronger than humans or something like that.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
And then gorillas are like the strongest animal
Dude,
or something like that.
imagine getting freaking pummeled by a
Oh, bro, just like one hit, you
you're
die
dead.
instantly. That's insane. I don't know if like humans and like monkeys evolved from a similar ancestor. How come people aren't just fucking jacked? That's not fair.
Yeah, I don't
Like
know.
human
I
beings
mean,
have got
I'm
to be.
sure if we spent the time that they did out in the jungle and stuff, we would be a lot more jacked. If we had the diets that we're actually
We
supposed
had
to have.
better diets than what they had, probably.
I don't know though. They we have like kind of evolved to eat this diet though. Like I'm sure
Like
humans before us were probably hella strong.
ripped.
Yeah, just from just eating what they
Well,
found.
people are getting bigger and bigger. Like each generation of people is getting bigger.
Really? Like stronger?
Yeah, like taller
Oh.
and like
Also more
wider.
obese.
That is true. But like the average height for men,
Dude, they used to be like
like
four six.
during the Napoleon era, the average height was 5'5", and now it's like 5'10".
You know that
And
Napoleon
that
wasn't
wasn't that long
actually
ago.
small. He
Yeah,
was the
no,
average height.
he was he was average. He was 5'5", which was average height,
Yeah. Go
which is
Napoleon.
still pretty small.
Yeah.
5'5".
That's
I'm 6'2".
I'm 5 like 11 or yeah, maybe less than that. Probably like 5'8", 5'9". Whatever
Like
5 inches apart is.
you're five. I calculated that you were 5'9".
Okay. I'm fine with that. I'm probably 5'9".
Cause I'm 6'2", and you don't see very many people that are 5'5" walking around.
No?
Like that's a small person nowadays.
Well, most women are like around that.
Yeah, I guess most women are like 5'6". The
Yeah.
average woman height for a woman is 5'5" now.
Dude, anything taller than that and she's out of here. Get the frick out of my league.
Yeah.
That was a joke, by the way. I didn't mean to offend
Yeah.
any tall women. Shout out to all my tall women.
Shout out to all those tall women, hey.
Get up there.
We need you here. We need you here to breed basketball players.
Hell yeah.
Not saying that your only purpose is to have babies.
Seriously, we're not trying to offend you guys. We're trying
Fuck.
our hardest right now. You make it hard, though. You make it hard. Is that where you wrap it up?
I guess so.
We literally just hit 6 seconds over an hour.
Could we just wrap it up with an offensive joke? All right,
Um,
guys. Thanks for tuning in to the 5 inch apart podcast.
so me and Brody are gonna go measure our penises together one more time, see if we're a little bigger. Might have to change the podcast name because you know how much they grow.
I know. I'm holding it right now to warm it up.
I am too. Yeah, that's. I was gonna say more, but I'm not gonna give any more information because that'd be a little too raunchy.
All right. I think that's where we're gonna end it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Thank you for watching the podcast or listening to the
Yep.
podcast. It was a fun time.
Once again, I'm Brody.
I'm Ethan.